Okay, once again, Jason, 50 Shades Scott, how are you today, brother?
Yeah, could be better. Currently going through, I've done my weight cut and just waiting for the weigh-ins so I can then start to refuel.
Yep, cool. How was the weight cut this time?
Weight cut was good. I didn't really have to go as hard as what I usually would. Obviously doing all the proper things in terms of losing the required weights through other means instead of just cutting them.
Yep. Okay. So while we're talking about that, what's your process, say in the past 4 weeks?
So, past 4 weeks, I'm wanting to keep my carb intake high. Make sure I'm training well, carb intake high, protein intake high, so I'm maintaining as much muscle mass as possible and having enough carbs so that I can train super hard. It's only really until about the last week of fight camp where I'm going to want to start to reduce my carb intake so I can start to reduce that water weight which is related with carbs, and I'm also going to start my water loading as well as reducing my dietary fiber and my sodium intake on that last week. And doing all of that then makes that bit where you actually have to do a bit of work to cut that bit of water weight. It only becomes maybe a couple hours run and then sitting in some towels or under a heater for a little bit in order to sweat out that last couple of kilos.
Okay, cool. That's a good breakdown for people at home, and you can probably put that down to learning from a nutritionist though, right? Learning from a fight nutritionist.
Most definitely. I've been working with Condition Nutrition. He's one of the guys who's worked with a lot of people in the Muay Thai industry. Shannon Gardner's a real popular name for it. There's someone who's worked with him, as well as other people on One Championship and whatnot. But learning from him has been really crucial in terms of how I need to be prepping my camp, in terms of what foods I need to be eating and what I need to prioritise, and then coming down to that last fight week, what I need to do in order to make that cut as easy as possible.
Yep. So after, obviously, you've talked us through the process of losing the weight. What's your process to recover after taking weight tonight?
So for recovery, I'm going to want to, for however much weight I lost in that last little bit where I needed to actually do a bit of running or whatever to cut water, I'm going to want to drink 1.5 litres for every kilo that I've lost of that water weight, with and with that water, of course, have electrolytes with it, and space that around a period of about 4 hours, and drink it at a moderate pace so that I'm not just drinking it and then pissing it out an hour later or whatnot. So and over that 4-hour period or whatnot, also adding in a little bit of glucose, some sugars, maybe a little bit of chocolate, whatnot, something that's going to make you feel, like
alive again.
Yeah, something that's going to give you a little bit of energy, but it's not going to completely fuck up your GI and whatnot.
Yep. And then do you then eat? How long after all that do you eat?
So I can start eating sort of a light meal around that 4-hour mark, or 3-hour mark. I can start to have like some light carbs, something that's going to be really easy for my body to absorb. And it's only like a couple of hours after that when I then can really have a sort of main meal with protein. I typically stick to food which I eat during camp, which is for half ethnic like me, being my mum being a Filipino. I like to eat a lot of dishes with rice, so typically a rice dish for me with a light protein such as chicken does well in order for me to replenish myself. And then I tend to eat, for me I like eating a little bit every few hours at night, just because I can't really smash a meal in one go and feel comfortable with that, whereas I like eating it a little bit by bit, so as I feel comfortable with it.
Yep, cool. So you, after all that, you'd probably say the most important bit, which obviously you and I know is the water part of it, right? Refueling, getting your hydration back, right?
Definitely. If
because you
you're
can't
not,
do the rest
yeah,
without it, right?
exactly. If you're not 100% hydrated and your body's not back up to holding water, then there's no point in you eating, because if your body can't hold the water, it's not going to hold the nutrients that the food holds.
Yep.
So yeah, you need to be on 100. You need to be hydrated 100% before you start eating any sort of foods.
Yep. And do you feel after cutting all this weight, even on your bigger cuts, do you feel it affects you on fight day?
On fight day, no. I feel like as long as, no matter how much weight I've cut, as long as my refueling is done properly, I can feel almost 100% on fight day.
Yeah.
Obviously the refueling is you're trying to get yourself back to what you were feeling like when you're training.
Yep.
Because when you train, you basically train at 100%, and that's no different. In fact, when you're eating for the fight, you probably have that ability to add some more carbs than what you normally would be able to during camp. So you should theoretically have a little even more energy or more capacity to throw more in the fight. So you feel that 110% better and whatnot.
Awesome, man. I personally appreciate you doing this for me when you're not feeling 100%. Looking forward to getting that weighing out of the way in a couple of hours, or what about maybe 4 hours away now, I think. Well done, man. Really proud of you, and we'll do a video tomorrow on fight day.
Oh, beautiful. No worries.
All right. Cheers, bro.
Cheers.